Okay, so we have the one last one. This should be pretty quick.
Okay.
Okay, this is another one from the Am I the Asshole subreddit from user effective ad 8019. Okay, am I the asshole for emasculating my husband?
Ooh.
Okay, throwaway for privacy. My husband and I don't have the best relationship, but it also is not the worst. He has a habit of doing things behind my back, and I'm supposed to accept it because I'm a housewife. I cook, clean, run errands, anything to do with domestic things is my responsibility. And I'd be fine with it if my husband didn't throw it in my face. This being said, I don't take BS, hence why he is regularly frustrated with me. I stand my ground and withhold my responsibility when he does the same. And he doesn't think this is right as I apparently don't do anything all day. I barely have no free time. The issue is his parents lost their home due to terrible financial decisions and they asked to live with us, and I immediately said no. I knew I'd have to clear after his parents while he goes out. Precisely, they could have gone to his other 3 siblings' houses, so it was like, why was their only choice to come here? Despite me saying no to his parents staying with us, I came back from shopping with all their stuff moved in. I'm livid and argue with my husband, and he says he pays the bills, so I have to deal with it. Fine, but I told him I'm not doing anything in the house anymore, and if he can fend for himself, he got cocky and thought I was bluffing. I lived up to my promise, and I could see he was getting more and more angry with my new freedom. It all came ahead this weekend when I went to the kitchen and made only enough dinner for myself. His parents asked if I can make another portion, and I said no. His mom started berating me, then my husband got involved and yelled at me and called me a bee. I'm simply putting my AirPods in and drowning him out. Walked away and ate my dinner in my bedroom. After some time, he and his parents came to me and I could see he was speaking. My husband then lifted up my hair and saw I had AirPods in and was not listening to a word he has been screaming. He asked if I had them in the whole time, and I replied, of course. His dad laughed and was clearly finding this amusing. Then all of a sudden, my husband burst out crying, like seriously bawling his eyes out, sobbing. I'm emasculating him in front of people. Me and his parents were silent and in shock by this. To paint the scene, he was crying loudly, sitting on the floor. Then his mother cradled him while his father looked like he was about to laugh. I thought the whole thing was ridiculous because he brought this upon himself. I said, I don't know why he's acting like a victim. I picked up my purse and I left to go hang out with my friends. The next day, my husband did not speak a word to anyone and slept all day and looked depressed. His mother berated me again and said I'm breaking her son. If I'm being honest, I'm starting to think I handled the situation a bit too petty. Am I the asshole?
Look at the first comment.
I know the first comment is just divorce, 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 divorce. For the love of God, divorce. I mean, side note, the new AirPods are pretty good. The noise canceling.
Oh, really?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
You made me try yours. Yeah, it is
good.
really good. I don't think that she's an asshole, but she's definitely petty. Like, if there was an asshole situation here, then the husband definitely is like more asshole to me than the wife. But I also feel that the wife, this is not the way to communicate. Like, I know we go back to communicate again and again, but, making with his parents, like making a scene or, trying to prove something of the parents. And from his side, the way he said that, I pay the bills, my parents that is also not a way. Both of them are like, they need help.
It's like two rams butting heads. Yeah.
And I think she's very vindictive.
Yeah.
I mean, so being angry at a decision and maybe reacting a certain way is one thing, but cooking for herself over days, like I think over multiple days, and just eating her portion on her own, and then when asked, just saying no. I think you have to draw the line, like where you put your foot down and make a position. But I don't think this is that situation. This is that scenario where your elderly parents are like, where your husband's elderly parents are home. You are making food just for yourself. Yeah. I guess that's petty. That's vindictive. That's not nice. So if I have to answer that question, is she the asshole? Yes, she's the asshole, but the husband is also an asshole.
Yeah. So I was actually debating on like both of them are assholes, and the other thing was that he's the asshole, she's just petty. But yeah, Pat, what do you think?
I think both of them are an asshole because just the way that they react to each other, because I think when you marry someone, you're not married just the person, you marry their whole family.
Yeah.
So it's also have to be a reason. Maybe the parents are also more comfortable with her husband and to be there, and I think that when you marry, it's also like supporting each other, so I get it that it's also like take a toll off of her, but maybe ask him for like how long would they stay,
Yeah.
or have a plan together. If not, then they need to find a way to compromise, but the way that his ego as are saying that, oh, I paid for everything,
Yeah.
it's my house, it's not the right way. But it's more about respecting the other one. But I think that she's a bit more aggressive in a way of her reactions that I'm cooking for myself. I think it's a bit too extreme in a way.
And it's very performative. Like,
Yeah.
she could have quietly gone down and
Definitely.
made something for herself, but, she's like making something I'm only making for myself.
Yeah. But I mean,
know?
if in a scenario, like if you want to fight with your partner, I would do it just the two of us,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's too bad that the parents are there, but of course, like your parents will always be on your side,
Yeah.
and in this case, like when his mom saying that to her, I mean, I get where she's coming from, she wants to protect of her son, but maybe you should be fighting
Hashtag boy
closed door.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think this is a good segue between the last episode, actually. Maybe I should put in this first, but
Mm-hmm.
because our last episode was about in-laws, about the parents. I mean, it's not right for her to take it out on
Yeah,
the husband's
absolutely.
parents. I mean, you obviously have to respect, and whether they lost the house with a bad financial decision or anything. I mean, they're suffering themselves. I'm sure it's not easy for them to ask to move into their son's house, so they're also struggling with their things. And I mean, it's important as family to support each other. But so again, I mean, also, I don't think that. I mean, I think it's important that the wife stand up for herself.
Yeah.
She needs to communicate that. The husband also is probably not listening to maybe what the
not
wife.
accepting.
Not accepting what the wife is comfortable with. I
Yeah.
mean, because she obviously feels like even before the parents moved in that she wasn't being taken care of or listened or heard, and then
This
now
is like
the parents
building
come in.
up with
exactly
with the husband, right? Like, and then so that it has to go to a certain point where the guy is saying that, where the guy's like, no, I pay for it, I will decide it, and she's saying that there's no end in sight, I have to clean up after them.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like a normal conversation, it could be like, she could share her. I mean, I do like, and he also does share when we have guests visiting that, hey, like, what I'm comfortable with or what he's comfortable with, and we'll try to like, of course, even after that, there might be stressful situations. But the whole thing over here, she is also like, hey, you know what? I have to clean up. That's the logic she used, that I have to clean up after them. They're not going to do anything. I don't want them in the house. It could have been that, hey, like, how long is this going to go on? Like, okay, for a month, they're going to stay with us. What is the next plan? It seems like she doesn't know when this is going to end. And that's why she's also like,
she's like, I give up on everyone. I'm fine. I'm fending for myself.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes back to, I mean, from what I hear about the way that the dynamic works between this couple, it's kind of like what you guys talked about in the beginning between your relationship about, understanding that your partner has different point of view from you and may think differently, but to also be open to, changing your mind or at least being able to understand where they're coming from. And it sounds like this is like the opposite, where they're not willing to compromise.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to understand or empathize with what the other partner is feeling or dealing with. Yeah.
And it feels like she's keeping score, kind of. Like she also mentions a few instances where she, from her point of view, she wasn't treated right, and fair enough. But it was like, okay, so 3-0 to me, and then I will now pay back by not serving food to your parents. So 3-1 to me now. I mean, also that's not a healthy relationship dynamic.
Yeah, it seems to me like they're going to have a lot more problems down the line.
If they're still together.
Yeah.
So if this was a snapshot and you were coming, if this couple was, another friend in the office, and they were like, well, what do I do? Like from the wife, maybe like what would your advice be to them?
Talk to him properly, like, and not just talk, like, try to have a conversation, like get deep, like clearly you guys are annoying each other. Clearly there's certain things happening where you're getting on each other's nerves. So talk about it. Like, life is too long to be stuck in a situation where both of you are miserable, screaming probably at each other. It sounds like something that they really get into, like that whole situation. He lifts up her hair and is like, whoa, what's going on?
I can imagine it when you were reading. I'm like oh my god.
But it's like I feel like, could it be that the cement has like settled when to come to the point where like they don't respect each other? And
so you're saying if this is recoverable?
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it recoverable?
What do you think, Pat?
I think they already passed that point, honestly, because I don't think that they both respect the other person, and they just want to win their way. I think that because I think that she already stated what she wants in a way, but he chose not to hear it, and then have the parents move in anyways, so I think that there's more issue that they need to be solved for both of them. I'm not sure if it will be
recoverable.
Yeah,
I think what really nails the coffin is the parents being there.
Yeah,
because even if they do work on it, like now the parents are going to be in like the son's corner being like, we don't like your wife.
Yeah,
and like Christmas is going to be very awkward.
Yeah, this is clearly a difficult situation.
And to address the main question, like where the man basically was crying on the on the floor, right?
Yeah.
So can he recover from that?
Yeah.
So like the next day he was sleeping all day, right? And then let's say on the third day when he has to deal with life, can he recover from this and really go back
to loving her
again? Because that's how he feels. That's his reality. Right, so his perception is his reality, right? And then if he is not able to get over that, it's game over then.
I wonder what the culture, because I think it also matters what culture you're in.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know there's some cultures where a woman's role is much more clearly defined.
I have a feeling this might be like a South Asian case, but not entirely sure. I don't want to stereotype
I'm not sure
anything.
because also like I was wondering actually because it also varies from culture to culture. So in some cultures it's a given that you will take care of your parents and it is okay for them to stay with you for 3 months, year or life. But in Western cultures I think it's very random, very awkward.
Sure.
Coming down from
the
the
Then again,
house
like
for a week or
Italian
two.
cultures, they also take care of the parents at home when they're older. So it's hard to say.
It varies from. So that's why So the degree of this woman's, let's say, crime, that if I can put it that way, will also vary from culture to culture.
I think so for sure.
Yeah.
This is for some cultures. I can see this being like, even if the woman was in the right to do this to the parents, it's like unacceptable.
South Asia, she's an asshole. Let's say, I don't know, United States.
I think maybe in Western or like in the US perspective, probably like I think I understand kind of where she's coming from and kind of this. I think Americans can come off as a little bit self-entitled. But so I do get what she's saying, and kind of like just because you're my mother-in-law, father-in-law doesn't give you a special right. Americans,
But
Well, but fair enough. That's how that is the fabric of their society.
Yeah.
So you can't blame her for that. Like you can't expect her to first of all become South Asian overnight, and then also try to kind of change this social narrative or in the social way of doing things, right? So
but it's interesting you brought up that, like, I totally sort of, the husband is at a very bad place right now. Can this be like a sign that something was building in him too? Like, he's depressed. We throw that word around, but maybe he is actually suffering
and
from...
it escalated, right? Like from like having a fight to kind of crying. I think he's again not at a
he's
good
this
place.
close.
If for example, if he felt like he was never living up to maybe his parents, or it sounds like his dad, maybe expectation of his son being quote unquote a man.
Yeah.
Like the dad was
And then
kind of
he
laughing at
snapped.
him, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe this could be a bigger thing of where maybe the dad is kind of like,
The dad is the
Judging
asshole.
him.
Plot
Yeah.
twist. So the dad is the asshole.
yeah,
It's the dad.
yeah, I think it's tough, but I think a lot of the world's problems would be solved to just people who are more empathetic and
Yeah.
because I don't think people are inherently evil, and like I don't think she wants to like destroy her husband, but I think she also needs to be heard, and
Yeah.
I think it's just that like I don't know. I feel like even if I am very upset with someone, I don't think I could be to this level because especially the parents, like
Yeah.
or maybe they're doing something. Maybe they've also have a history together being difficult. So.
There definitely is more between the lines in this story.
Probably,
Like,
for sure.
for both of them. And he has been kind of an asshole to her. She has too.
Yeah.
Probably in this situation, to me, she's not looking like a super like asshole, but yeah, petty and, you
Yeah.
know, but maybe there's a lot that happened that led up to this moment. You
I mean,
know?
like you said, I think there's not a lot of. It's very rare that there's a clear
Yeah.
asshole.
Super clear.
There's usually like
There are usually like things.
in the way.
No, I've read some clear asshole stories, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, more often than
Yeah.
not, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, this is a good insight into marriage life, and it seems like you guys are a really good role model for us.
Experts.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Dr. Salim, Dr. Sadia.
Dr. Also.
Yeah, and
Osho.
I think it's because also like, of course, it is not no marriage is perfect, right? But I think
Except for ours.
except for ours. But it's also like I think me and Salim, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but we never thought of like we're married, like when people say 10 years, you guys you told me so. Hey, it's 10 years. I'm like, Pat, it does not feel like 10 years.
And I don't feel like it's 10 years.
Yeah.
It feels like maybe 5, but not 10.
Yeah,
I mean, you still keep the dynamic somehow. It's still alive, I mean, of course, there's like, there's some times that you might like have conflict and whatnot, but I don't feel like, because I mean, I've seen some couples of like, my cousins and cousins, that you can see that once they have kids or they've been together for the longest time, you can see the dynamic and the way they speak to each other, the annoying, the irritation, just everything. It's different. It's not like this.
Yeah, like it gets to you. I mean, God knows that I get annoyed by Salim. Like, and I think you also know it quite well. And I do annoy you too, like, but that's like a part of the whole thing. But yeah, I think maybe the fact that, sometimes my mom, in my culture, married women are supposed to wear like gold, a bit of like your gold bangles or your gold like earrings or something like that. And both my mom and like my mother-in-law would be like, yeah, initially they would be like that. And of course they gave up after that. So when we were recently married, and then they would be like, why don't you wear like, a little thing, like a little bangle or, I was like, I don't know. I don't really feel married. And
Is a gold bangle supposed to represent that you're a married woman?
so usually it's the case that, if you're wearing like a lot of gold jewelry, that means you are like a married woman.
So like a wedding band, but it's
Yeah, like a bangle, like, there you get those during your wedding and things like that. So if that's an indication of anything, like I never felt that I didn't want to like look married or like, I wanted to be with Salim, like for sure. Even like when we got married, like I was 24 or 24 and you were, sorry.
I was 27, you were 25.
I was 25 and you were 27. And I never wanted to get married. Like I wanted to get married beyond 28. I told you this, like, 28 and 30. And, because I feel like that's when a girl is like, knows what she wants, blah, blah, blah. But then of course you fall for someone and then, the whole situation is like that. So at that, some of my friends had asked me that, okay, are you sure about this or, whatever. I was like, I'm really sure that I want to be with him. And then you told me this, that, I'm really sure that I want to be with you. And if we can be with each other and we have to get married right now, let's get married. Like, what's the thing? The main important thing is us being together, marriage or no marriage.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we were on the same page
Good.
whenever we had that discussion.
You also don't want to look married? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a ring.
It's a hint.
Yeah, he lost it 3 times, so
Oh,
now he doesn't
no.
wear it anymore.
Okay,
And then we found it back.
Skip the conversation.
No, I mean, again, in our culture, it's not a thing where
Yeah.
you have to wear your like wedding ring. It's a very westernized concept.
Right.
We kind of do follow those rituals, like we do have those, but it's more from a Western influence rather than being really part of. So that's why you'll see a lot of South Asian men. I don't know for what reasons. But yeah, I mean, it's not really common.
Yeah.
You can wear them, but it's okay to not wear them.
I think the whole engagement ring kind of culture is quite new, right? It's quite a modern thing
I think so too. Yeah.
with the diamond.
Yeah,
industry.
brought to you by De Beers.
Yeah, De
Yeah,
Beers.
exactly.
Let's go watch Blood Diamond after this. No, I'm kidding. No. Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. Right? I think we did a great first.
I feel like we talked so much.
No,
I
it
feel
was so much fun. No, it's thank you.
He loves it.
I love it. Yeah. I'm just like here getting to play with my little mixer and
I feel so happy.
So do we start to take 2 now?
yeah.
Oh wait, another.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god.
from the beginning, from the
Yeah.
top.
Okay, that was a practice round. Okay. Oh, I wasn't recording.
Oh my god. I would kill you.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but
well,
this was fun. I hope you guys have us back again.
I would love to.
We will. We
Yeah.
will.
For sure.
We will. For
We'll talk
sure.
about- yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was fun to share our expert opinions.
Expert.
10 years.
Doctor
I think 10 years
Sadir.
makes
And
you
all
an
the books
expert.
that I've read, I was able to finally
Quote.
virtue signal. Use all the quotes that I now know.
A fortune
Osho.
signal.
All the three,
Osho.
all the 3 quotes that I know.
So for next time, we just need to tell Salim first when it is, so he can start
Yeah.
writing and list
Yeah.
it down all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
quotes.
And I'll organically
Yeah, and
insert
find
them
a way
into
to insert
conversation.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe have like a little sign that you can,
Yeah.
like, or like the bottom scroll, like the news feed.
Yeah.
That you have the little ticker tape. Okay, maybe you want to close this out?
No, I could.
Why don't you sing a
do
song?
it. No,
As a closing.
No, I'll do it on my wedding day.
Oh, you will?
No,
Oh my
No.
god, I'm so excited.
Jokes.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you. This has been You Look Lovely Today. And I want to say a big thank you again to the Saws, Sadia and Salim, for being on the show.
Thank you guys.
And
This was
thank
awesome.
you to Pacha as well. And you can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and everywhere else that you find your podcast. Be sure to leave a comment or a like in the description. We like to hear from all our fans, and let us know what you want to hear from us. Okay, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.